pieces and in collaboration with the cinematographer, how much you're into it?
Yeah, I think this is a very important point in this film, the collaboration with Alexander Georgiou, a German-Romanian cinematographer whom I know since many years, with I worked very closely, and he was always interfering in my work while I was always interfering in his work. We never stopped, dragging each other to the other side, what makes it the best. And the idea of, the concept of this cinematography idea was to in each scene which we created with the actors, like a rehearsed or written scene, we wanted to be as documentary-wise as we could be. And in each scene where we were totally up for, we didn't know what happened, that it was more a documentary moment, we wanted to be as focused on a frame that is more of a narrative storytelling. So that makes this impression that you have.
There was improv.
Sorry?
There was improv in there.
It's a lot of improvisation, yeah. Mainly, actually, the whole film. Yeah.
Okay.
Rehearse means also improvisation when you have the time to allow yourself to go, like in the car scene, that you can sit and work it out better as good as it can be for a moment. But still, we didn't know exactly how to fix the scene before we shot it.
Wow.
Welcome.
In the scene with the sprinkler, second scene where Jakob was shown first, and then he was walking away, and Marco was then shown. Was he dreaming? Were they together in that scene, or was it both? Desire?
Yeah, we always call it the vision scene, but it's supposed to be a daydream moment in the film where I needed to have a kind of an access to the projection of the character to the other character, and that I thought was, while this contemplated, repetitive sound of this machine, of the sprinkler coming out, he can have an idea of how Marco would look naked. That was the idea, actually. So I hope you got it then.
I think, yeah.
Yes?
I've got first of all, many thanks. I love the film. Two very short questions. How much is this, how did you integrate those actors into that real setup at that farm? It's a real farm. I saw it on the internet. And the second question is, how would a film like that show in German cinemas or on German television? How would that work?
Yeah, so the first question was for me always a dream to make a film where you can integrate a storyline and characters that you manipulate in the best sense as a director within the real world, within a real setup. And I was never really aware what this film would become. I was just knowing I wanted to go in a farm which would be as connected to the past of the GDR, which is in this case very much. If you don't know it so, but in Germany you feel it very much that this farm is still running on the same roots, on the same system like it did in the GDR times. Like this big kolchose thing it was an idea of the Russians, actually, not to have like farmers' families or farmers like entrepreneurs, but big clusters of farmers, and they're more industrial. And I saw this still happening, and I went around in Germany and I looked for this farm, and I was very inspired by this one. And I met these people who had all these great stories. And it took a couple of years till I found out that I can really make a film here. I never knew what I can make with this finding of this farm. But when I had the connection to the people, I had the production company coming up to me saying, well, wouldn't you like to do something with this farm? And I said, yeah, of course, all the time, and I don't know how to bring it together. Then I just wrote a very simple story, which is the love story of Marco and Jakob. And we introduced them very carefully to the farm. But like I made a made an internship on the farm. The actors made an internship on the farm. We became more a community in the sense of the project. And the second thing, in Germany, the film was very well received. It was running in small cinemas in big cities, in Hamburg, in Berlin, Stuttgart, Munich, Dresden, so quite a few cities, thanks to the digital distribution of the film. The press was very kind to the film, and the audiences very much so. It was, the world premiere was on the Berlin Film Festival with a section of Generation Plus 14, which is for youngsters between 14 and 18, and we had a huge screening on the second biggest venue in the Berlinale, where we also invited all the farm people from the film, and they all came from the village directly with a bus in the night on stage, and it was an amazing night for all of us. So I think the film was very well received. Yeah?
I think it's very interesting that there's so many foreign films that are set on farms. This is kind of I've heard. but it's interesting to see kind of a regular feature and a love story in that. Which of the characters were actual farmers or interns? Were most of the interns actors, and the woman that was kind of the mothering figure?
Everyone is a real character of this farm except Marco and Jakob. Like everyone except this girl in the restaurant. She's asking him about Marco, about his private life. This little scene. She's an actress. Besides everyone, even the people on the like the mother of Jakob, who is waiting for her at home, she's really living in that house. So I just asked for the house. Can we shoot here? Scenes that takes 2 hours. And can you act here as well? You know. And this is what amazed me so much in this production, was that we in Berlin, we had very generalized ideas about how the countryside people are, in their minds working, and how narrow-minded they are in a way. But this village, I can only speak for that. I can't speak for whole Brandenburg, which is the state in which this village is, which is surrounding Berlin. But this village, like everyone was so open and so straightforward in front of the camera. Like there was a great quote from Frederick Wiseman, who said that it's the false assumption that as soon as you put on a camera, people turn out to be bad actors of their own life. That's not the case if you do it right, I think, or if you do it the way it can work. And so, did I answer the question?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
I think the gentleman all the way up in the back.
Yes, please.
You made reference to the data air a few minutes ago. In Germany today, is job training and education still like that? There's a track. You go to a tech school. If you don't make it in banking, you can transfer to farming. If you're trained to be a farmer, it's not that way at all in America. That's why I'm curious.
Yeah, you have mainly in all big industrial fields, like in a hotel, you can make a 4-year training. Then you are a real hotel, not a hotelier, but you don't own a hotel, but you can do it in farming, you can do it in the print industry. Yeah, that's a very common thing to do. And if it doesn't work out in one place, you have not limitless options to switch, but you can switch, of course. And there are also shifts in the payments.
But that was more prominent in the data air.
No, this is an up-to-date situation. This is the case today.
I could feel the former data air.
Yeah, that's the farm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the feeling. Yeah. Okay.
The farm is still running on a system which is more collective.
Yeah.
But with young apprentices, they just, when they don't go to college, you have to learn a job, and you learn it while you're doing it in a company or an industrial farm.
Oh, yeah.
Yes?
Yep, you first.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about how you helped the two leads, develop their chemistry and, what direction they were going to go in, or was that completely improv?
Well, this is mainly a casting decision. When you look for the characters, of course I had a loose script on scenes, but no dialogues and no order in the scenes. We always, each shooting day ended up like we found out what happened and we had to adjust some parts of the story because we knew this worked different as we expected, so the characters have to have a different level of expression for the next shooting day. But the chemistry between Lukas and Kai, this is the actress, was more, they're both, I can say it because they're always very fond of saying that they're not gay. They were in front of the audience in the Berlinale, they were kind of interrogated in a bit of a harsh way by the young audience, and they reacted like they wanted to state that they're not gay, but then we got over that part as well. But they're very young and they had a lot of fear of the physical scenes, and because there was no script, they didn't know how much it would be. So it was always kind of a negotiation in a good way that we had to face that if we won't go there, the story becomes false. You know, if they won't get that tender moments between each other, we can make a great documentary here about the other people, but it won't be about you. So I was always trying to give them the big picture. And that moment when they're in the car, in the end, when they are coming really close, that was totally a one-shot wonder. They did it just like one time, and I didn't ask, let's make one for safe. I didn't do that, which I often do, but that moment was just so beautiful. I just said thank you, and we just made it wrap. Sorry.
Were you able to detect